Good morning, Patrick here from Complete Health. I just want to go through the concept of organised chaos. Now, this year, we've had a lot of organised chaos. Personally, I've had tons of organised chaos going on in my world. We've had organised chaos in the office. We've had organised chaos in my house. My gym routine has been organised chaos. And the main reason it's been organised chaos is that we can plan so much at the moment, but we can't be in control of everything. I can plan so much at the moment, but I can't be in control of everything. From where the government guidelines continue to change, I've had to adapt everything and have a guideline, but not necessarily be able to be perfect at executing things. However, there's one thing that we've always been, and that's consistent. We consistently show up to work. I consistently show up and train. I consistently do the work, and we've been consistently working on our house. And I don't think there's been a month this year where something hasn't happened or something hasn't been done in our house where we've added something in and improved in work, or I've had to adapt my training routine to be able to kind of fit in. However, I've had to go through a lot of awkward stresses, high levels of stresses and difficulties to be able to get to the other side. And for many of you that might have seen some of our previous videos over the last couple of weeks, you've probably seen that my house is a bit of a dump. However, what I'm starting to now see is the fruition of what's going to be there at the end. I can see that all the wires are now in the wall. I can see that all the plumbing is in the right place. We know that the plasterer is coming to have a look at the wall to get things so that we can get the units in, and then etc. etc. So I can start to see the benefits. Now, this is really similar to what we see with clients in their care, is that initially things can go a little bit south. The whole body starts to freak out when we make a change. So, for example, if someone has come in with a low back problem or a neck problem or headaches, and you start to move those joints around and start to relax those muscles, what can happen initially is people can their body can have a massive freak out. A little bit like when you look at the house, when you've taken all the stuff off the wall, you all of a sudden look at it and go, oh my God, what have I done? And people can do the same thing with me. They can come back after a couple of visits and they go, I have no idea what you've done, but I'm worse. And I will always ask, okay, so what's worse, what's different? And a lot of the time they'll be describing symptoms of muscle soreness or stiffness, or that kind of feeling as if they've just gone to the gym. My response is probably not always what they want to hear. I'm like, that's great, things are changing. And they're like, yeah, but it hurts. And I'm like, yeah, well, sometimes improvement does hurt. And I mean, the best example I can always use with clients is that idea of going to the gym, or that idea of doing volumes of cardio to be able to lose weight, or the idea of the project that you had to do for DIY. You had to go through that really frustrating moment of you had 4,000 components on the floor to put your DIY project together, but then towards the end, you've only got about 10, and then slotting those last 10 pieces in is really, really easy. So the further you get through the process, the easier things start to get. Same again with exercise. That initial week of doing exercise 3 or 4 times a week can be really, really difficult. But once you've done it for 2 or 3 weeks, it just becomes routine and it becomes really, really easy. And so your first couple of weeks, you might see great weight losses, but then all of a sudden it's that gradual that will get you to your end overall target. Now, interestingly enough, a lot of people give up with things too early. Now, I could just go, oh, do you know what, I can't do this. We could just sell the house and sell it as is and not do the work. However, I know that's not going to be in my best interest because I can see where the outcome is going. And I'm very fortunate I can see the outcome earlier because there's still a lot of work. But the nice thing is I know it's going in the right direction. I know that we've got all the parts. I know that we've got the people around us that are going to fulfill the work. I know that we've got these people around us. So it's nice to see that there's going to be some significant changes. And maybe there's something that you need to significantly change. And maybe you need to significantly change in your exercise routine or your diet. Or maybe you're going through a pain or a problem that needs to be resolved. Or maybe you've got that DIY project that you keep putting off. But just know that yes, there is going to be some pain. However, on the other side of the pain, there'll be great pleasure. Another one, look, for me, this has probably been the biggest pain of my life. However, the best outcome has ever come from it. And that was my degree. That time spent, it was 5 years studying with my head buried in a book to come out the other side with a skill and knowledge and ability to go into a profession that is now going to provide for me for the rest of my life. So I had to go through 5 years of pain so that I can go through this process for the rest of my life, helping people to improve on themselves. And that's an amazing feeling. But do you think I thought that in my second and third year? Because I can tell you, those second and third years, to get through those was really, really tough, because it's very difficult to see the end, and the work keeps stacking up and the hours of sleepless nights. But like I say, here we are now, and if I hadn't have done it, I wouldn't be standing here right now in front of my phone talking to people, telling people how they can go out and do the same kinds of things. So don't necessarily always put off till tomorrow what you can start to improve today. Patrick here from Complete Health. I will speak to you again soon.